This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.
Hello everyone, I'm Mark Thompson with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. One person is in critical condition after a shooting involving a police officer. This happened near 59th Avenue in Northern. Police telling us that the man who was shot by officers first called police saying that he wanted to, quote, light people up, specifically cops. When Glendale police showed up to that scene, they found the 23-year-old suspect holding a spear that was 3 to 4 feet long. Officers say that man ran at police with the spear.
The suspect charged at the sergeant, and then another officer arrived. The suspect turned his attention toward that officer and charged at that officer with that spear. And at that time, the officer fired his duty weapon at the suspect, striking him.
Both police officers are okay. The man who charged at them with that homemade spear is in the hospital in critical condition. Glendale police did not find a gun on the suspect. In Phoenix, a 15-year-old boy has life-threatening injuries after being shot at an apartment complex last night. This happened near 29th Street and Bell Road. Officers say witnesses did see the suspect, but so far no word on any arrests. Now to the very latest on the coronavirus. Health officials reporting more than 5,000 newly confirmed cases here in Arizona, bringing our statewide total to more than 753,000 since the pandemic began. Sadly, an additional 76 deaths have been reported. The number of Arizonans who have lost their lives to the virus growing now to 13,098. But a little glimpse of hope from inside of our hospitals. This graph compares the percent of COVID to non-COVID patients, and for the first time in more than a month, COVID-19 does not make up a majority of hospitalizations. Hospitals are still very full, however, with just about 10% of hospital beds available in the state and only about 8% for ICU beds. And speaking of the vaccine, many viewers have reached out to us about problems that they've had signing up to get vaccinated. We have two important phone numbers to pass along to you. They're on your screen right now that should be able to help you out a little bit. The first number is 480-573-0332. That number is for Arizonans who are trying to get their second vaccine appointment or did not receive a confirmation email. The second number is 1-844-542-8201. That is the state's coronavirus hotline and can help you out with a whole bunch of issues. Now, keep in mind, you might have to wait on hold for a while. We've also put those numbers online at abc15.com/vaccine. And we got new detail this morning about the two fugitives that escaped custody last weekend. Those men are back behind bars. DPS tells us that they are investigating a possible attack involving those inmates at this home in Coolidge. The homeowner tells the Associated Press that the inmates, John Sharpio and David Harmon, demanded cash and keys to the truck from his wife. When he heard her scream and ran to help, the inmates ran off. They were later tracked to a nearby field. They had been on the run since last Saturday when they escaped from the state prison in Florence. Happening this week, State Superintendent Kathy Hoffman gives her virtual State of Education address. Her office telling us that she plans to focus on the impact the pandemic has had on students and schools and, quote, the types of pro-family policies that she feels lawmakers should prioritize as we move through and beyond the crisis of the pandemic, end quote. The address is set to take place on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Now to sports. The Sun Devil Hoop Squad, they haven't won 2 games in a row in nearly 2 months. Last night's game against Stanford, it was pretty impressive. The ASU defense coming up with 12 steals and forced 20 Cardinal turnovers. The Devils winning 79-75.
I'm Nohelani Graff with that most accurate forecast. We'll start to see some of that cloud cover by the mid-morning hours, and our temperatures will stay chilly for much of the morning in the 40s and 50s, but we'll hit the 60s by lunchtime, and then we're warming into the 70s today across the valley, staying in the low 70s, a couple degrees above the average. Clouds will continue to stream in after lunchtime and into the early evening hours statewide. Temperatures in the high country will stay cold, though, in the low 40s in Flagstaff as well as Show Low. Sedona Arizona, just a little bit more mild than that, in the 50s and some light breezes. Despite the clouds, we'll stay dry today in the valley and as we head into the work week, and we'll continue to get warmer into the upper 70s by Tuesday. But the clouds linger, and now we're tracking rain chances by the middle of the week, more snow possible in the high country, and our temperatures will dip back down into the 60s to round out that 7-day as well.
For the very latest headlines, weather, and traffic, head to abc15.com or download the free ABC15 mobile app.
This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.